All right. So this week we're back with another great topic. So if you have a dog that doesn't want to walk, stalling on walks, or whatever it may be, you're probably not enjoying your walks. I'm going to give you three ways to get your dog to start walking again when they're stalling out or if they don't want to walk in general. Because I'm in New England, spring's right around the corner. The days are going to be getting nicer, and you're going to want to take your dog out for a walk. And so if they're already stalling out on you on walks or don't want to walk, resisting a walk, you want to try to get them going now. All right. So I'm going to talk to you about three ways to get them walking. So when we talk about dogs not wanting to walk, when you take them out for a walk, there's a few reasons why they may not want to go for a walk. So before I jump into the reasons, I just want to quickly go through some of the reasons why they may not want to walk. And then keep your dog in mind and try to choose which one may be your dog or sounds like your dog. So dogs generally may not want to walk when you want them to go on a walk is because they want to explore. So a lot of times you'll see the dog just stopping because, you know, you want to walk ahead and they want to explore. So that's one reason why they may not want to walk. Also, they may need to use the bathroom, so they may pause too. Older dogs may need to rest a little bit more. Same thing with younger dogs and really young puppies. They may not want to walk as well because it just may be too long of a walk. Fear or dogs being afraid, those are generally one of the bigger reasons, one of the top reasons why dogs generally do not want to walk is because, you know, they may be afraid or something. And sometimes we may not visually see it, but they can feel it or they know it or can hear it. Health issues is another big one. Your dog may not want to walk. Maybe they hurt their leg. Maybe they're not feeling well. So there could be a gamut of things or reasons why your dog may not want to walk when you want them to go for a walk. So let's jump into the three ways you can kind of get them to walk when you need them to. So before you even leave the home, let's talk about like treats and rewards, okay? So I always talk to families about the type of treats and reward you use inside versus outside. So of course you want to use a treat that your dog is interested in, but you have to think when you're taking your dog outside in the real world, you have to compete against other dogs, other people, sights and sounds and stuff. So you generally want to use a treat that's going to get your dog to focus. Ideally, what I love to use when I take dogs out, I like to use cheese sticks, hot dogs, peanut butter, type of foods like that, that kind of get them like really like that, engaged and kind of interested. And that will encourage a dog to want to walk more. And I always will say, use those type of treats when you're going outside versus inside. So that when you do take your dog out, each time they're more so like, oh my gosh, I want to go for this walk because each time I go out, I get, a piece of hot dog or a piece of chicken or things like that. And so that would make them want to walk even more so than not. Okay. So just make sure that you're choosing the right kind of treats when you're taking your dog outside. Also, one thing I talk about too is how, when you're outside and you're trying to encourage your dog to come on, you want to make sure you're making it exciting. You're not saying, hey, Fido, come on, let's go. Because I know it can be a little frustrating. And so the tone of your voice may not, scream excitement, but you kind of want to keep it in a cheerful tone when you encourage them to come. All right. Another thing I talk about too is, giving your dog time to explore, okay? Especially with the younger puppies, the one who are not really out there in the world yet, you want to give them time to explore. So a lot of times, if your dog stopping on the walk, right? If you just give them like 10 or 15 seconds to kind of check out what they want to check out, whether they're sniffing, whether they stop because they saw something, if you give them 10 or 15 seconds and instead of like pulling or like nudging them, like, come on, let's go, just simply say to your dog, usually what I'll do is like jiggle the leash like that, like give them like, hey, come on, let's go, we're going. But generally, if you just give them a few seconds to explore, they'll want to walk even further. And this is not something I'm making up. I know it works. I just finished seeing a family where the dog, they thought didn't want to walk, but just explaining and going through, teaching them like, hey, your dog just wants to explore. And some dogs that are sniffers, like beagles and hounds, may want to explore more than other dogs, but just giving them a few seconds to kind of take in the world, that will definitely benefit them and make them want to walk even more. All right. The third thing you want to do, and this one's a big one, I thought the other one's a big one, but this one's even bigger, is you want to consider the location in which you're walking your dog. So what that means is going back to the reasons why dogs may stop on walks. Some dogs may be fearful, they may be stressed. And if you're walking them in a location that has like cars zooming by, a lot of people, a lot of distractions, that may be too overwhelming for your dog. So you want to take a step back and maybe take them on a trail first to walk, or in a nice quiet park before you kind of get them out there and saturate them and all that distraction and stuff like that. But I would say location is going to be key, and also just giving your dog some time. And just as a reminder, you want to be patient. If your dog's not walking as fast as you want them to walk, or if they're stalling out on walks. And I generally see this a lot, like I said, with puppies that are like, under 4 months and things like that, or even the older puppies, or, things like that, where they're like stalling on the walks and things like that. So just make sure you consider all the different reasons why your dog's not walking, and just make sure you check the rewards and the treats you're using before you leave the house. So hot dogs, cheese sticks, peanut butter. If you're saying, okay, well, I don't feed my dog human food, you can try liver treats or salmon treats. Anything that's stinky and smelly generally are considered what we call higher value, that keeps your dog engaged. You want to try to get some of those if you don't want to use the cheese sticks, hot dogs, and peanut butter. Also, the location as well, make sure you're considering that. And then another thing is just holding a leash. Make sure you relax, because a lot of times if our dogs pulling, or if they're stalling and things like that, it could be whatever scenario that you encounter with your dog where you may not feel as sure about your dog on leash, so we end up tensing up. So just make sure you try to relax a little bit, because that all goes down to the dog, and then they may not want to move as much. Okay, so those are the three ways you can get your dog going on the leash. But if you have questions, or if you still have, concerns, feel free to reach out to me. I'm here. You always can follow me as well on, if you're a listener to the podcast, Positive Dog Training Convo. So other than that, I hope you got some tips to get your dog walking on the walks, and I will see you next week for another great topic. All right. Bye.